Hi, my name is Justin Harmon, and I am going to describe to you in this video what a hiatal hernia is. Hiatal hernia pertains to the digestive system, specifically the stomach of the digestive system. As the food goes into the mouth, it gets mechanically chewed, right? So it breaks down into small bits and pieces, and it coats it with saliva, which helps the food particles go down your esophagus, and it enters the stomach through a esophageal sphincter. Imagine that this represents your stomach. Your esophageal sphincter is the above muscle that surrounds the top of your stomach. And normally this muscle expands when there's pressure pressed down on this end of it. So the esophageal entrance, right? It expands, allows the food particles to go into the stomach. And what's supposed to happen is that the stomach will grind, kind of wavy the food over these rugulae tissues that are inside the lining of the stomach. At the same time, it secretes acid out of pylorus duct. This pylorus acid is very potent, 1.12 off of the pH scale. After it gets broken down mechanically and chemically, it should go out the other end, pyloric sphincter. So you have one sphincter at one end and one sphincter on the other end, and it both contains, or supposed to contain, the acid. When the stomach is not digesting, the acid gets uploaded back into the tissue for resetting of the stomach. Now, as you might have guessed already, a hiatal hernia deals with the hiatal entrance, where that esophageal sphincter is. What happens is that as time goes on, or other factors such as weight or risk factors of a certain lifestyle, the sphincter of the esophagus gets worn out. So the sphincter doesn't close properly. This could be indicating either like I said, worn out, or the inflammation around it based off of other comorbidities, right? So as the stomach churns the food, it builds up pressure. Well, this pressure pushes against the esophagus, the esophageal sphincter, and normally it shouldn't open up. But because it's worn out, it doesn't close properly. And so sometimes the acid will go up the esophagus back to your throat, and you sort of regurgitate this bile chyme that's in the stomach, all the stomach contents, right? Well, what does, it irritates the esophagus, and you develop what we call GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. Well, over time of having that done and getting the GERD, which you would normally treat with antacids, the esophagus gets kind of worn out, like I said. And what happens is that this will no longer close, so it's constantly open. And with GERD constantly going, it's starting to deteriorate the esophagus in your throat, and kind of brings up into your teeth and kind of gives you cavities. And normally this happens when the person lies down. See how easy it would open up? But to treat this, you would have to get a series of medication and a lifestyle change. The lifestyle change would indicate not eating or drinking 3 to 4 hours prior to lying down in bed, not exercising 3 to 4 hours prior to laying down. When you're laying down, lay at a 45-degree angle and sleep on your left side. Anatomically, that puts the pressure off of the stomach and allowing you to not have the chance of the stomach acid going back into your throat. The medications that I mentioned before are proton pump inhibitors, meaning that it prevents or stops or inhibits the acid production of your body, therefore lowering the amount of acid at any given time in your stomach. Well, those are chronically, those are bad. They have known risk factors associated with them because your body does need the acid to break down food to get the nutrients, right? The carbs, the fats, and the proteins. So what happens is that you have to do this lifestyle change with the medication and slowly kind of build yourself off it and manage it properly. If you can't manage it properly, you go and you see your doctor and they refer you to a surgeon. And what happens with the surgery is that they take the top of your stomach and they stretch it out and they tie it on where the esophagus is at, therefore preventing the contents from going back up. It kind of makes an artificial sphincter. So it's supposed to work as, properly, but that limits the amount of solid food that enters the body, meaning that you have to have soft food or liquid-based diet from then on, which is it's very risky and it's the last resort. Normally, it's managed by, like I said, not eating the certain types of food, not eating before bed, not lying down after eating or drinking, that sort of thing to keep it manageable. Otherwise, surgery is all you have, and that shrinks your stomach. As much as that sounds like an awesome thing, you need your stomach. You need the amount of calories. Otherwise, your body doesn't function properly. And if you do feel like you have these symptoms, as in GERD, bloating, bubbling up, and vomiting, regurgitation after eating, I would suggest seeking out medical help to get that managed sooner than later. Thank you.